Hi everybody, welcome back to week 3 of our Kids with Confidence program. I'm Danica and we're back this week with some super fun physical and mental challenges. One of my sisters is back with me this week. I also have one sister here with me in spirit today. Don't look into her eyes too long, by the way, she does not blink. And you might be asking, why are we all wearing Oilers jerseys? I don't know, because we felt like it. If you want to wear your own jersey for this, that's cool too, but I'll just say Oilers are definitely the best team. I might be a little biased, but it's definitely true. Okay, so for our first activity today, we're going to start with our warm-up. For this one, I like to call it inside-outside warm-up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our right foot, we're going to touch the inside of our foot, and then we're going to touch the outside of our foot. Then we're going to take our left foot, touch the outside of our left foot, the inside of our left foot, and then we're going to do 2 jumping jacks. 1, 2. So we're going to start the timer for 1 minute, and we're going to play some music, and we're going to go inside, outside, outside, inside. 1, 2. We're just going to do that over and over. Good warm-up. This week we are going to show you how to do some fortnight dances. So sorry, no TikTok challenge this week, but don't worry, we'll be back next week with another one. I'm going to show you how to do 4 fortnight dances. The first one we're going to start off with, I think most of you will know, it's called the floss. If you already know how to do it, that's great. If you don't, you can learn from us, and if you do know how to do it, you can follow along, you can do it as fast as you want. Okay, so the floss, you need to move your hips. So we can practice together. We'll move our hips to the right, and then we'll move them to the left, back to the right, and then to the left. So that's how you're going to do the hip movement. Now we'll try the arms just by themselves. So you're going to take your arms, you kind of make a fist with your hands, and then you're going to put one hand in front of you, and you're going to put one hand behind you. And you're going to move your arms back, and then in front of you, and then forth, and then we'll switch. So to the side, keeping one hand in front of you and one hand behind you the whole time. So we're just going to alternate which hand is in front and which hand is in the back. So once you've got the arm movement down, now you can add in the hips with the arms. So we'll start with moving our hips, and then slowly we're going to move our arms in tune with our hips. So you're going to switch at the side, meet in the middle, and then come back. And if you want to, you can try going a bit faster. You can try and do this as fast as you want. So we'll see how fast we can go. Do it pretty speedy. I bet you guys can go really fast. That's the first one, that's the floss. The next one we're going to do is called the HIIT. So for this one, it has a leg movement, which is you can pick which foot you want to stand on. So I recommend if you usually use your right foot to kick, that you stand on your left foot, and vice versa. So if you usually use your left foot to kick, you can stand on your right foot. So I'm going to stand on my left foot, and our right foot is kind of kick out and then come back in. And we're just going to keep doing that. For our arms, you're going to take the arm that's the same as your leg that's up, so the opposite of the one that you're standing on, and you're going to move it with your leg. So it's going to go back when your leg goes back, forward when your leg goes forward. So we'll do that a couple times. Yeah. And then for the next arm movement, you're still going to keep your foot up, and you're going to move your arms down like this. So you're going to move them from behind you out in front, and it's also going to follow your feet. So when your arms are behind you, your foot goes up, and when your arms are in front of you, your foot goes down. So we'll do it in counts of 4. So for the first part, we're gonna do 4, maybe we'll call it a fist pump. We're gonna do 4 fist pumps with your feet. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna switch and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you've got that, then you can start hopping on this foot. So at the same time, instead of keeping our foot still, we're gonna hop on it. So we'll try 4 like this, and then 4 like this together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can just keep doing that over and over. So we'll try it a little bit faster. If you're not ready for that, that's okay. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that's how you do the HIIT. The next one that we have is called best mates. So for this one, you're going to need to high knees. So we'll practice that for a little bit. So you're going to put your knees up really high. Sometimes it helps to put your hands in front of you, kind of a little bit above waist height, so you can judge where your knees need to be. So we'll do some high knees, and now you can take your hands away. So you're going to do that. And then the arms for this one is you're going to stick them up, kind of like a robot, and you're going to move your arms side to side. We're going to try and coordinate with our knees the same time as our arms. So when this hand is up, we're going to have this knee up, and then when this hand is up, we'll have this knee up. And we're going to go back and forth like this. Once you're good at that, you can do it a little bit faster. Bring your knees up like this. Okay. The last one we have is called Fresh on Fortnite. There also is another name for it though. It's sometimes called the Carlton. It is from a show called Fresh Prince. You're probably all too young to know it, but that's okay. I just wanted to give credit. So for this one, it's a little bit trickier. We're going to start with the foot movement. So our feet are always going to move out and then in, and then we'll switch to our other foot. It'll come out and in. So out with your right foot, in with your right foot, out with your left foot, in with your left foot. So let's practice that for a little bit. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Perfect. Our arms are going to move like this up to our shoulders, and then we'll move to the other side. So up to your right shoulder, up to your left shoulder, back to your right, back to your left. This one also moves in counts of 4. So that's going to be the first part. We're going to move our arms, and we're actually going to do the feet together. So this is tricky. If you can't get it at first, that's okay. So you're going to move your foot out and your arms to your shoulder, and then back in the middle, kind of. And then you'll move to the left, in, and then back. And also, when you get comfortable, you can kind of move your hips a little bit. Move your hip to the right, left, right, left. Perfect. The second part is we're going to take 2 steps to the right while we move our arms out and in. So our arms are going to go like this, out, in, and we're going to add in the steps. So we'll go to the right, we'll take 2 steps. So out, in, and then to the left, out, in, in. So that's how that part works. So that's 2 parts together. So we'll go back to the first part. So we'll practice the foot movement again. You're gonna go out, in, in, in. Now we'll add the arms. So remember, you're gonna go up to the side like this. And for an added challenge, if you get really good, you can also snap your fingers at the top if you want to. I know it's a very tricky dance, so maybe once you practice it a couple times. So we'll add the foot movement and the arms together. So you're gonna go out, in, 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 and then we're gonna go twice to the right, and then twice to the left, and then we go back. Out, in, 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 right, left. If you want to go faster than that, that's okay. We're not going to, because it's really hard to do this dance. So I think the speed that we're at is perfect. So that's our Fortnite dances for today. We hope you enjoyed. For our mental challenge this week, I'm going to be talking to you about emotions. So if you remember last week, I talked about anger, which is one example of an emotion, but there are also many other emotions. including sadness, happiness, being surprised, and there's lots of other emotions. So there are both good ways and bad ways to show our emotions. I'm going to use happiness as an example. So a good way to show that we're happy is to smile, to laugh, and to be around our friends and just be having fun. A not so good way to show you're happy is to scream at the top of your lungs when your sibling is having a nap. That might not be the best way to show that we're happy. So it actually takes a lot of practice for us to learn how to show our emotions, and sometimes we might bottle up our emotions and keep them in, which is really unhealthy for us. So it really helps us if we can talk to someone we trust about our emotions. I'm also going to show you today a really fun craft that you can make at home of a good way to deal with your emotions. So it's something called a sensory bottle. So my sister has made one herself here. I have an example of it. So it's going to look like this when you're done. To make it, you are going to need a bottle of some sort. It doesn't have to be exactly like this one. Just make sure that it's clean, it's clear, and it has a lid. You're also going to need some water, you're going to need oil, and you're going to need something to decorate it with. It's not a huge deal if you don't have this stuff at home with you, so if you don't have things like glitter and food coloring, you don't really need them. It does make it really fun though. So to start off with, you're going to take your bottle and you're going to fill it about 3/4 full of water. You might need to use a funnel for this part. My jug has a little spout on it, so it makes it easier to pour for me. I'm going to fill it up almost to the top. A little bit more, I think. So I'll stop there. And then I'm going to fill the other 1/4 or so with oil. Make sure that when you're pouring in the liquids that you leave a little bit of space at the top, so make sure you don't fill it completely up to the top just to prevent it spilling. So I left a little bit of space at the top. I've got my oil and my water. The next step, if you have food coloring, is you can put in food coloring. So I'm going to put in red. You can put in whatever color you want. This is also kind of a really cool science experiment, this part to watch. So the food coloring is going to go in the oil and then it's going to disperse into the water. So it's really cool to watch actually. It might take a little while, but you can put in your drops of food coloring. You can see how it kind of settles on the surface of the oil. And we have to wait for it to break the surface. You might need to give it a little bit of a shake. It's just taking its time. That's okay. So something that we can also add in is glitter if you want to. I have some gold glitter here. You can use any kind of glitter you want. I would maybe not suggest using glitter glue just because I don't know how well it works. And our color is still sitting at the top. That's funny. Okay, so I'll add our glitter. This might get a little messy, but that's definitely part of the fun. Once we're done that, you can take your lid and you can put it on. So a really good way to make sure that your lid stays on is you can tape it, or it would actually be best to glue gun it. So you will need a glue gun and it needs to be plugged in, unlike this one. And also make sure that you talk to your mom or dad or someone else at home for help. So let's just imagine that I've glued this on. Make sure it's on really tight. Oh, and we just had a huge piece of glitter go down, and there goes our color. Looks really cool. So what you can do now is you can move your bottle up and down, and the color and the liquids will blend together. And then if you let it sit for a little bit, the oil is actually going to come back up to the top and sit at the top, and then you're ready to do it again. So this bottle can really help you if you need to relax. So looking at it can help you feel relaxed, and it's just a good idea to have to look at too. It's really fun to look at. So that's our easy craft for today, is our sensory bottle. I really hope you get a chance to make it at home because they're really cool. Our Minute to Win It challenge this week is called Moving On Over. So for this, you will need some plates. You will also need some small edible object to move. So we're using marshmallows. If you don't have marshmallows, you could also use Skittles, M&Ms, anything small like that. And you'll also need straws. So what you're gonna do in this is you're gonna use the straw to suck up the marshmallow, and you're gonna try and move as many as possible as you can from this plate onto your plate. So if you want, you could race someone. So I'm racing my sister. You could race someone else in your house, or you could just make it a personal challenge to see how many marshmallows or other objects you're using can get from one plate to the other. So we're gonna go for 1 minute and we're gonna see how many we can move, and I hope that you'll join along with us.
Ding, ding, ding.
Time is up, so that's a minute for us. That was really hard. To make it harder, if you get really good at it, is you could try putting one hand behind your back. You could try putting your straw in your non-dominant hand, so the straw that you put your straw in your non-dominant hand, so the one that you don't write with. Or if you get really good, no hands, put the straw like this, and try and suck up the marshmallows like that. So that's our minute to win a challenge for today. For our last activity today, we're gonna do a mindfulness activity. So a reminder that mindfulness is trying to think in the present moment. So we're gonna try our best not to think about things that happened in the past. We're gonna try our best not to think about things that might happen in the future. So this activity is called mindfulness heartbeat. So we're gonna really appreciate our heartbeat, and our heart works so hard for us. It works really hard all day, every day to pump blood. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do a warm up. We're gonna do some jumping jacks, and then we're gonna stop and we're gonna feel our heartbeat. And if you want to, you can count how many times your heart beats. So we'll start with our jumping jacks. Let's go 10 more times. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we can stop. And if you want to, you can count how many times you're going to see your heart beats. And if you want to, too, you can close your eyes if that helps you feel relaxed and if that's comfortable for you. That's the end of our program today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. I'll see you soon. Bye.